Hello, hello, Holistic Edit community. It is so good to see you on this beautiful Wednesday. It might not be beautiful where you are. Maybe it is. Maybe it's icy and snowy, but the sun is shining here in North Carolina. And let me tell you, I can't remember. It started yesterday, but I can't remember before that the last time the sun shone. It was very, very, very rainy. So, yes, I wanted to come on here. It is noon on Wednesdays, and you know I love coming to you on Wednesdays with all sorts of mindset and self-care and nutrition and fitness chats. So, I want to talk today about plant-based eating and how some people do feel like it's another or a similar version to veganism or vegetarianism, and I'm going to dispel that myth a little bit for you today. Um, my thought going forward with this Wellness Wednesday is that maybe to be more of service to you guys, posing a question that some of you might have in relation to self-care or fitness or nutrition might be helpful. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you, maybe getting a question of yours answered by a health coach, let me know. Throw a yes. I would love to have a series like that because maybe I can turn this Wellness Wednesday into answering your biggest questions, concerns, all of that, so that you guys can get the most out of this free group and be healthy and mindful and balanced on your journey of health. So, let's talk about plant-based eating. I consider myself to be plant-based. What is plant-based eating? Well, you are essentially eating in your your overall diet every day heavily a variety of plants. We're talking legumes, vegetables, and fruits. Okay, so that does not mean that you are a vegan. That does not mean that you are a vegetarian. But what it does mean is that the largest amount of your nutrients in a day's time is coming from legumes, vegetables, and fruits. So I consider myself plant-based. I decided to go plant-based about a little over a year ago, and really focus more on a nutrient-dense diet versus just a caloric restriction and things like that. Certainly, people use a caloric restriction diet and that works for them. There are diets like keto and paleo and vegan and vegetarian and pescatarian, and there's so many diets out there that you can follow. And you really truly have to just find what works for you. What works for me is not necessarily going to work for you. It's this concept called bioindividuality, something I learned in nutrition school, that one person's food can be another person's poison. For example, some of the high allergy foods, shellfish, peanuts, dairy, eggs, all of that wheat can really upset certain people's guts and bodies, and other people can eat it fine with no problem whatsoever. So it really is, you are kind of the greatest science experiment of your life in terms of finding out what's right for you. But a lot of people confuse the idea that being plant-based means you can't eat meat, and that is just not the case. I am someone who craves having a nutrient, very colorful diet. When I was a kid, my grandmother used to tell me to eat the rainbow. And I've taken that kind of my whole life. It's ebbed and flow a little bit in terms of my healthy lifestyle, but now I teach it to my kids, and that's something you can teach to kids that you might have or in your life, that eating a variety of color is going to be super important to get the most nutrients out of your food. Food is fuel for our body, and so we really have to look at it as not necessarily a reward or punishment, but more as fuel, as the nutrients that your body needs to do its job of doing a hard workout or training for something or getting more energy or keeping up with the children, right? So, in a day's time, I strive for about 4 to 5 servings, if I can, of vegetables a day. And those for me are in 1 to 2 cup increments. It depends on what it is. Vegetables I love to eat are green vegetables. So we're talking cucumbers, zucchini, broccoli, leafy green vegetables. I make sure to incorporate like at least those every day in some way. Other vegetables that I absolutely love are squash, spaghetti squash, butternut squash. I love incorporating those. Other vegetables after that I love incorporating are carrots and tomatoes, cauliflower, and things like that. So you can tell if I'm talking about the rainbow, I've hit my greens, I've hit my yellows and my oranges, and then I've hit my reds. And so really I'm building in that color already. So on top of that, I love fruits. Who doesn't love fruit? It's nature's candy, right? So when you're going plant-based, you really do want to be mindful of the carbs that you take in because you're going to be getting a lot more fiber and you're going to be getting a lot more carbohydrates in your vegetables, right? But you do want to be mindful because as you're taking out processed sugar from your diet, your sugar cravings are going to skyrocket. They're going to go through the roof. So incorporating some sweeter vegetables like root vegetables, turnips, parsnips, carrots, those are great, great, great ways to help those sugar cravings kind of calm down a bit. You can put them in soups, you can roast them up, you can have a roasted sweet potato, and those will obviously really, really help your sugar cravings. But if we're talking fruit, again, we've got the whole rainbow there. I love berries. Berries for me have to be one of the most consumed thing that I eat only because they are sweet. So I'm getting that sweet, but they are lower in carbs in terms of other fruits. So you do want to be mindful of that. When I do shop for berries, I do stick to only organic. And I do this because if you guys know, and I can certainly, I'll scroll back in my pictures and I'll make sure to share a screenshot of the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. When you're shopping at the grocery store, now I know that's not going to work for everybody and be in everybody's budget, but you want to strive to keep the Clean 15, which are the safe ones, no matter whether they're conventional or organic, but you really want to focus on that Dirty Dozen, and you really want to try to buy organic or from a CSA as best you can with those Dirty Dozen. Fruit, we're focusing on fruit. I'm jumping all over the place today, but I hope this is helping some of you. Fruit is... I stick with berries. Next up, I love grapes. Green grapes are my favorite. I actually got my kids, I did this fun little activity that you could do with your kids too, is where you take green grapes and you slice them and you sprinkle a little lime on them, and they taste just like a green Sour Patch Kid. I kid you not. It is the coolest, funnest thing. Your kids will have a blast with it. And it's a great way to get them to try limes. If they're not big sweet eaters or they do kind of like to snack on candy, that's a great option as well. But grapes are a great one. I freeze grapes if I have in the summertime, if I'm really wanting like ice cream or something cold, I'll freeze some grapes and I'll snack on them at night. Mango. I love mango. It is like candy to me. And I don't know if you've ever tried this, but I get the chunked mango that already cut up because I don't have time to cut up a mango some days. But I get the frozen mango and I eat that as a late night snack sometimes if I'm craving something sweet and I'm like, man, I really want ice cream or whatever. I just put a little mango in a cup and I snack on it, and it's so good. It tastes like a popsicle or like sorbet kind of because of the consistency of it. So we've got our berry colors, the deep indigo and the blues and the reds and the grapes. We've got purples and greens, and mango we've got orange. So you've got a variety, right? A variety of color, variety of nutrients, because with that color comes the different nutrients. Bananas are great. Nothing wrong with bananas. Bananas are high in sugar. They're high in potassium. I love enjoying them after a workout because all that sugar is going to go right to my muscle, especially if you pair it with a protein. That's why I always suggest to all of my clients, please, 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 after your workout, make sure you're having either a complex carb, a protein, and a veggie, or have a protein drink and pair it with something like a banana. That is going to really refeed your muscles, especially if you're doing a weight training program, so you're not super sore. But I use bananas in my shakes. I use them on top of oatmeal. I use them I make nice cream sometimes if the weather is warmer and I'm just really needing some kind of ice cream. I'll blend that up with some protein too. So it's really, it's protein dense and it's craving a sweet tooth. So those are some great options for fruits. Some people ask me about dried fruit. Dried fruit, I will say, it's not bad. It's better than sugar and candy and things like that. But you want to be careful of dried fruit because if you turned the package around on a lot of store-bought dried fruit, you will see one of the first ingredients is always sugar. Dried fruit, when it's produced in certain circumstances, is always most soaked in sugar before it's dried, because when it is dried, it gets a very like a fruit leather essentially consistency. A great, what is the name of that brand? Peeled, I think. Peeled. Peeled. Peeled is a great brand because they don't use any added sugar. It's not going to make it as sweet as for instance, dried mango that you'd get at the store that is soaked in sugar, but it's healthier for you. The fiber is still there and all of that. So if you need something at your desk because you're working and you get the 4 o'clock snackies like a lot of us do, getting some sort of dried fruit, Peeled, again, is a great brand that you can have in your desk so that you can pull out a couple and then have that. The next thing, who's coming in? Maybe the wind. You never know in this house, guys. We work from home, we homeschool. You never know who's going to pop in that door. But the next thing is legumes or grains, okay? Legumes/grains, because I do incorporate both sometimes, but legumes, you've got beans, you've got edamame, you've got like all sorts of different types of food. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. That you can incorporate. I will say, and I do again tell this to my clients, when you're focusing on eating more plant-based, realize that those beans are going to be recognized in your body as a carb if you are also using meat and eggs as a source and yogurt as a source of protein. Because when you're a vegan, those beans are recognized in your body as a source of protein. But when you eat meat, your body has to do something with all that protein. So while your body's doing something with that protein, it's taking those beans and it's storing them as energy. I hope that helps for anybody. So sometimes people say to me, oh, well, peanut butter's protein. No, peanut butter is a healthy fat, and cheese is a healthy fat, and beans are a carb, not a protein if you are eating meat. If you are vegan, then they become your protein source. But healthy whole grains is another great way to get some really good protein into your diet. Also keep yourself full because they're full of fiber. And so good ones I use, brown rice, quinoa. Those are the ones I stick to these days, only because I'm trying to go gluten-free. Because I've noticed that when I reduce gluten, my skin is happier. And so for me, might sound vain, I don't have a problem. It doesn't cause digestion issues, but it does cause skin issues. So I'm just trying to lessen that in my life. But brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat pasta, really trying to look for the least processed grain if possible. Amaranth, spelt, you can get super creative with those. I like making some like a pasta, almost like a pasta salad with amaranth or like a wild rice, and then you put mushrooms in there and some parsley. You can even throw in some like more greens, or you can top a salad with some of that. It's delicious, and it's going to fill you up, and it's going to make you feel really good. With plant-based, I don't believe that you can. It's a buzzword. I see it everywhere. And so you have to really be careful, because a lot of companies realize that that is a buzzword and they'll use it. For instance, I saw the other day on an ad a thing for plant-based diapers. I was like, what the what? So it is a buzzword. I would say be an ingredient detective. Turn around to the ingredients, see what's listed. If sugar is in the first 5 things, or something you can't pronounce is in the first 5 things, toss it. I really try to stress to clients, like, be an ingredient detective. Look on the back. The front of a package, and I guess I'll use this. It's not a food package, but the front of the package is meant for you to be pulled in, right? That's where all the marketing is. But the back of the package is where all the information, the ingredients, and everything like that is listed. So turn around that label and be an ingredient detective. But that is pretty much it for plant-based. I love the way I feel eating plant-based. I don't pay attention to calories. I'm not tracking anything super strictly because truly you can't overeat on vegetables and you can't overeat on fruits. Honestly, you're going to be too full. I promise you. When people do start a healthier lifestyle to more whole foods, when I'm giving them their meal plans, they're like, Amy, that's so much food. But what happens is your body starts burning it and you become literally like a humming train station. It is amazing to watch your body transform from a highly processed food diet to a more plant-based or whole food diet, to see like my clients' energy like go through the roof, and to see them like eat more and lose weight. It's just been incredible to watch them make that shift to more whole, nutrient-dense foods, and for them to see that it is actually giving them benefit and that we're not restricting ourselves in our food. So with that, I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions on anything in terms of plant-based, please let me know. Oh, two things I will say. When you are eating vegan, because I did talk about this in the title of this. When you're eating vegan, or if you would like to eat vegan, I will say, take out one thing at a time. So maybe you're taking out meat, but you're eating more vegetarian, because if you take out everything in one fell swoop, you might have like a really big energy slump, and it's going to make you want to quit, or you're going to get intense cravings and things like that. You're going to get cravings when you're taking something out of your diet, because your body's finding a way to replace that. It's like, what do I need? What do I need? So if you are doing that. Also, if you are moving to vegan, you need to be taking a vitamin B supplement, B12. It is necessary when you are not getting sources of animal protein. Your body cannot get any of that through plants and fruit and complex carbs and beans. It just can't. So please make sure, if you are going vegan, to do it the smart way, so that you aren't having an energy slump, and that you aren't quitting, and that you aren't thinking you're a failure, because you can do it if you want to do it. If you are going vegetarian, okay, if you're going vegetarian, do bump up your veggies, and pretty much like cruciferous veggies, cauliflower, broccoli, things like that, because that's going to keep you feeling full. When you're taking meat out of your diet and then you're leaving in things like yogurt and cheese and stuff like that, your body might actually start to crave that stuff more. So just be wary if you are trying to move away from meat. Again, do it slowly. Take out maybe beef and see how you feel. Take out chicken and see how you feel, because there is not one right diet, right? It's whatever works for you. I am somebody who doesn't do well on a whole lot of red meat, but I love chicken and I love eggs and I love fish sometimes. I don't like to cook fish all the time, but I do like fish sometimes. And so that's what works for me. But maybe you are somebody who enjoys pork and you want to, incorporate pork once a week into your diet. And so really begin to be a scientist for your own health. I encourage that for all of my clients, that you are the guru. You are becoming the health guru of your life, of your gut, and to trust your instinct. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments below. Thank you to all who showed up and were a part of this live. And if you're catching the replay, just say hey and let me know if you have any questions. And that is it. If that asking a health coach question sounds interesting for you, and you guys want me to turn these lives into like answering your questions, 100% shoot a comment in the comment thing below, because I want to be able to offer you guys as much of my knowledge as I can, and use my help, use my information, because I think that, gosh, if I can help women step into trusting their gut, and eating healthier and moving the way that encourages them and motivates them, then my purpose here on earth will have been served. So that's it. Thank you so much for coming, and I will chat with you guys next Wednesday. All right. Oh, one more. Sorry. If you want to be a part of the group, the 28th at 7 p.m. It's a Sunday night. I'm going to put the Zoom link in here. So it's nothing you need to like, hey, let me know I'm going to be a part of, but I will be on Zoom on February 28th at 7 p.m. talking all about Untamed, Glennon Doyle Melton. I'm so pumped. Rereading this again is just lighting me up. She's amazing. Her words are amazing. If you're struggling in your life right now with any kind of like acceptance or trusting yourself or people pleasing or anything like that, sister, this is your book. You got to read it. All right. Get going on with your day. 5 things that you're grateful for. Eat 4 to 5 types of green vegetables. Get outside and move for 30 minutes. Drink half your body weight in water and have a super freaking blessed day. Love you guys.